Hey everybody, this is Captain Yeet here for you for another Kagurabachi Manga chapter review. This is going to be Kagurabachi Manga chapter 35 titled Cage. So let's get into it. So the beginning of the chapter talks off of a flashback, and we get the flashback of the woman that Sora, Hakuri's brother, always talked about. Well, yeah, the woman that Hakuri's brother always talking about, Sora, that the woman like tricked him and made him escape and leave the Samashi clan. We get that backstory. So the backstory starts off in August. And it turns out that before anything goes into the storehouse, they keep it in a separate place for a couple weeks so they can like write it down, number it, and then they eventually bring it to the storehouse. And the person in charge of looking over all the merchandise before it goes inside the storehouse is Hakuri. So he walks in one day and we get to see the lady. Now we don't get her name, but her number is 24, and she's named the Lady of Icy Skin. She's in a cage and her skin is just perfuting ice for no reason. Well, Kakari specifically says that's some sort of strange sorcery, because everybody can use sorcery, but I guess in her condition, it's something different, and something's going on to where her skin is constantly producing icy cold ice, icy cold ice, so it's just constantly coming off of her, and it's like freezing the wall that she's in. So Hakari comes in with some food, and he's telling her, hey, in the past 2 days since you've been here, you haven't eaten a thing. And you have to eat something because you're going to be bad merchandise if you die. I can't let you die. So if you're not going to eat, I'll have to force you. And if I can't force you, like if you pass out or something, then I'm just have to stick an IV in you because you have to stay healthy enough to go to the storehouse. It was kind of wild reading that because, Hakari, he's like, like he on everybody. Like, human trafficking, everything is so bad. And just hear him talk like that, it took me aback. I thought I was reading, not reading the wrong chapter, but I thought I was reading it in a way. I thought Hakuri was his older brother for a second, but no, it is Hakuri. Always the lady doesn't want to be there. She's in a cage. She doesn't want to eat. But she says, meals are supposed to be enjoyable. They're supposed to be, letting something happy. You're supposed to be happy when you enjoy a meal. I'm in a cage. I'm going to be sold off into an auction. I'm not going to be happy eating this unless you eat with me. Obviously, he doesn't really want to do that, but he goes, well, if it's to keep you all healthy and energized and so you won't die, I guess I can sit down and eat with you too. Oh yeah, and he also mentions that he can't bring her out of there because she's in solitary confinement. And number two, he can't bring her into a different cell with other prisoners. Well, yeah, I guess you could say prisoners. He can't put her in another cell with other prisoners because of her icy skin. It could hurt other people if she's close. That's why she's in a cell by herself. Because, like I said, her icy skin, she's just constantly perputing ice. So, I don't know if I'm going to put in a thumbnail to represent her. Because obviously there's no pictures of her. I was thinking Rukia or maybe Ray Todoroki's manga uses ice. Obviously, those two don't just keep producing ice for no reason, but they're ice anime females, so somebody to represent her because I gotta put her in the thumbnail, obviously. Anyway, she looks at Hakuri's hand, and it's like all jacked up, specifically one of his fingers. And she asks what happened. She said that his brother Sora. Obviously, we know that he always beats him up out of love, which is so weird. But this time, he used pliers and was trying to yank his finger off, and it broke. Obviously, she's like, that's no way for a family to behave. Why does your family bully you? He says that because he's useless, he can't do anything, so I got to do anything I can to prove my use. Normally, he doesn't use tools on me. He usually uses his fist, but every now and then he does use some sort of tool. And we get a picture of like a wrench, like jump rope. I don't know what this is supposed to be. It looks like I don't know. We see a jump rope and a wrench is pretty wild. But the third item, I don't know what that is. But he says after he uses it, it always ends up lost somewhere. And after that, he uses his hands again. But then he uses a tool. Whatever tool he uses, it always says it ends up lost, so he can't use it again. So he's just beating off his hand again. She tells him to give him a hand. She tells Hakuri to give her his hand, and he starts to hold hands. She uses her icy ice to cool his hand off and swirl down the welding. When you get hurt, you put some ice on it. So she's basically doing that. She goes, hey, we're kind of the same. We're both rejects. How about we run away together? He goes, hey, you're trying to trick me. She goes, you got me. But hey, I'm actually being truthful. If you ever want to get out of here when your family beating you up every day, you don't forget me. Take me up on my offer and take me out of here too. Hakuri isn't really trying to hear any of it. And then we see a little bit of a time skip, and day after day, They see he comes here, eats with her. She's eating her food, they're talking, having fun. And day after day, he's getting beat up. She comes over, puts her hand on wherever, he had the most bruises, puts some ice on it. But one day, I don't know who this other person could be. I guess anybody would beat him up. Normally, we only hear about Sora beating him up, the older brother that he's fighting right now. But in this panel, we see two people. We don't get to see their faces, we can see their legs. But we see two people just stomping him out, which is, jeez, man. And he comes in to bring her her food, and he's just all jacked up, wobbling. Obviously, she goes, what happened? Like, you look way more roughed up than today. What took so long? He goes, yeah, they beat me up a lot longer than usual, but hey, I'm fine. Gives her the food. Obviously, like, this is no way for a family to act. You shouldn't be beating up your little brother to where you're looking like this. This is just sickening. And he starts crying. He starts saying, like, he can't use the shockwave move, and he's useless. He has to prove his usefulness somehow. And she also figured out that normally nobody isn't, well, they do keep the merchandise somewhere else before putting in the storehouse, but normally nobody does that. And they just took this job on Hakury because he's useless, and she figured that out, and he was kind of surprised he did. And she goes, hey, you have some use to you. You talk to me every day. You make me happy. You making me eat my meals. That's useful. So he starts crying. And then he comes in and brings her food for the very last day. Because this is the last day they can talk to each other because, well, tomorrow she's going to have to go inside the storehouse permanently until, well, the auction. And then he comes back another day and he goes, okay, let's go. Let's have a meal. She's like, I thought you said yesterday that was my last meal. What do you mean? He goes, yeah, let's go outside. He has a key. So he goes, wow, I really warmed up your heart, huh? He goes, 100%. Come on, let's go. As soon as they walk out of the jail cell, we come back into real time. And the last time we left Hakury in real time, he was fighting against his brother. And they're both doing a shockwave move against each other. And his brother, I mean, obviously, he's been training like this since he was a kid. His power. I was thinking Hakury would be able to, like, awaken something to do, like, counter it. But no, he sent Hakury flying into a wall and he cracked it. Hakury's on the ground, just coughing up blood. Obviously Hakury's brother Sora's like, there's no way you could have beat me. I've been training like this since I was a kid. He also says, let me read it word for word because I don't want to mess it up. He also says, the members of the Samsi clan are all highly skilled, but they aren't adored. If you insist on becoming like that, then maybe you're better off going bye-bye while you're still lovable. And let me go back to the flashback. So, obviously, because they don't, like, praise a lot of people in the Samsi clan. They do sometimes, but not really. And I guess he's saying, well, you're still somewhat likable. Even though you did betray us, I guess they still kind of want him to come back or whatever. Well, they said they're going to kill him. I don't know. I guess that's what he's saying. Like, you're still somewhat likable. But before you go off the deep end, ruining the whole auction, yeah, now everybody's going to really hate you. Before you go off the deep end, I'm going to just kill you now. Well, you're still somewhat lovable in the eyes of the family. So we come back to the flashback. Hakury's like locking up the jail cell after he let her out. And he turns around, and the lady with the icy skin has a knife and pushes it to her neck. And Hakury's like, what are you doing? She goes, I'm sorry, I lied to you. Ever since the very beginning when we first met, this was my motive. As soon as I get out, I was going to kill myself. Hakury's like, no, please, we talked every day. We can figure something out. She said that she was in love one time, and the man that she was in love with, that she was going to marry, well, I think she actually did say they were married. Or maybe they were just dating. But he was saying the exact same thing Hakury said. And eventually, they sold me. So, I just can't do it anymore. I truly am sorry. And she goes to slice her neck. And then, this part kind of confused me, but not too much. So, we see a flashback of them, like, enjoying their time together. And then, we see somewhat of a slash on her neck. The next panel, we see Hakury holding somebody, but we don't get to see specifically who, but his eyes like really big and sad, so it probably is her, like the lady that cut her neck. And then we cut back in real time, and Hakury's brother comes over to Hakury's body, and there's another huge shockwave on his face after he's already down and can't move. And Hakury's thinking to himself, was everything you said to me a bunch of lies? And Hakury also says, I killed her. I don't know why, but it kind of looked like Sora's face. So I was thinking, did Sora kill her? But no, I guess Hakury kind of feels responsible for her dying, he's the one that let him out. I mean, let her out, and she killed herself, so he kind of feels responsible for it. So we see Hakuri's brother walking away from Hakuri's body after he did that huge shockwave on his body, and I can't tell if it hit his head or just warped there. But the pliers that he used to like break Hakuri's finger, they just appear out of nowhere off to the side. And Hakuri's brother's like, what's that noise? And he looks and he sees the pliers and he gets confused and he looks back over at Hakuri's body and it's just still lying down lifeless with some blood like coming out of his face. So I'm like, if they warped here, I was thinking the dad like we either take the tools. Because remember he said that the pliers or any other tool that he'll use on me will just magically disappear after he used it on me once, and then he'll have to go back to his fist. I was like, maybe the dad took it into the storehouse. He can warp stuff, but then why would they warp again right here? Because he somewhat knows everybody's fighting, because he was able to teleport all those blades and stuff over to Mr. Sabi's fight to help his son. So she kind of knows what's everything going on right now. But why would he warp that here? Unless that was Hakuri's doing. But why? And those, did he throw him or did he keep him? I don't know. This really confused me. And after that, he seemed pretty much out, unless he's getting up right now and he's just like shooting, spitting some blood out to get back up to do something. I don't know. This part was a little confusing to me, but I'm guessing Hakuri threw those at him, or he's the one that worked. I don't know. It's something to do with Hakuri. I don't know. I don't know. I keep saying the same thing over and over. I don't know. But I'm guessing it was his doing, or he's gonna get up to do something. And he's not dead yet. But that was a pretty sad backstory. I was really surprised when she killed her. She killed herself. I mean, they could have worked something out, but jeez. That's sad. That's really sad, man. This is gonna hurt. I don't know when hopefully the anime gets announced soon. I think the anime did get announced a while ago, but I don't know for sure. I said that in one video, but I honestly don't know for sure where that information was from. I gotta look back at it. But hopefully the anime comes out soon. Well, I mean, we're only on chapter 35, so we might need a little bit more to animate for season 1, because this could be done in a couple episodes. It's not a couple, maybe like 12 to 13, I don't know. But anyway, this was a good chapter. So, like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you all later. Thank you all for watching. I think you all love David being one of human beings, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye. All right.